Hi dear civil service aspirants, this is our history optional, one of the very beautiful optional for your civil service mains examination. Okay, now this is value addition session. Some additional things we will learn from paper 1, paper 2, section A, section B, and today this is paper 2, section B, world history. And our first topic, American Revolution. It was great enjoyment for not only Americans but those who loved anti-colonialism, those who hated colonialism. Everyone rejoiced in the wake of American Revolution, especially in the wake of Declaration of Independence. Many rejoiced, but some group of Americans didn't rejoice. They were not happy. Why they were not happy? That we will discuss. In fact, it was asked by UPSC also. Some Americans didn't rejoice in the wake of this Declaration of American Independence. In fact, in the wake of American Revolution, Americans can be classified into three categories. You see, patriots were the patriots, P for patriots. Patriots were the, neutrals were the, and loyalists were the. Patriots, they wanted the freedom, America's 13 colonies integration and their freedom from England. Neutrals, neither they sided with the revolutionaries nor with this English government. They remained neutral, not sided with either British or these Americans. Okay, now loyalist means they remained loyal to British government. They remained loyal to British crown. And these loyalists didn't rejoice in the Declaration of American Independence. Why the loyalists didn't rejoice? They remained loyal to British crown, and one of the best loyalists is, Benjamin Franklin's son, William Franklin. He was a loyalist and he expressed his gratitude to that British crown. Now these are the reasons why some Americans didn't rejoice in this Declaration of Independence, American Independence. One thing is, some loyalists, they anticipated the victory. They always believed British is super strong, even though it is a small island nation. This is the very powerful colonial nation, and whichever the war they fought, they become successful, victorious in many of the wars. They had superior navy, army, air force, etc. So many Americans simply misguessed that, or they simply assumed that America will lose the war, Britain will win the war. So anticipating this British victory, many supported this British, many remained loyal to British, but it was just like in the prelims, it was also a wild guess, it was also uneducated guess. Okay, now see, many were office holders. Many loyalists were office holders in the British imperial government, in their bureaucracy. That's why they also did not participate, did not support these revolutionaries. And many loyalists were supporters of the Church of England. They were followers of the Church of England. That is why they remained loyal to this British. Now, many cultural ethnic minority settlers were there. For example, Scottish settlers. Scottish settlers were, such cultural ethnic minority settlers were there, and they feared of a social instability, economic instability, cultural instability. If these new Americans or these Americans form a government, these minorities felt that they will not be provided adequate legal support or judicial support or economic social support will not be provided to such cultural minorities, ethnic minorities. So such cultural ethnic minorities like Scottish settlers remained loyal to British crown. They felt more protected by British crown. Now certain merchants were there. They also remained very loyal to British crown because they had this imperial trade association, or they had association with the imperial trade system, old imperial trade system. But many merchants supported these revolutions. Many merchants who were supporters of imperial trade system, they remained loyal to British. Now again, the natives of America, they were not siding with these colonists. They felt, yes, siding with the British crown is the only solution for getting proper land redistribution or land arrangements in America. So natives also, yes, they sided with this British crown, not with these fighters or revolutionaries. Okay, So these are some Americans who did not rejoice in this declaration of American independence. And what were their outcome? You see, once this America became independent or they got independence, yes, these loyalists, they had to face some intolerable judicial legislative actions. Many had to migrate to Canada or Britain or to other parts of the world. Many faced intolerable legislative and judicial actions. Okay, so this is something you have to cover here. Now moving on to the next topic. That topic is, according to this H.P. Taylor, yeah, Hitler never intended for World War II. Hitler never wanted World War II. In fact, he wanted a short war with Poland. His intention was a limited war with Poland only, and he never wanted World War II. That is what the opinion of H.P. Taylor in his books Origins of the World War II. In his book Origins of the World War II, H.P. Taylor says Hitler only wanted a limited war with Poland. He never wanted that World War, this mass destructive World War II, he never wanted. Now if you answer this, there are many points to substantiate or justify his view. For example, if you check by 1939, Germany, yes, Germany had around 3,500 tanks, war tanks. Germany had 3,500 war tanks. When you check Britain and France, they had almost 3,850 war tanks. So Britain and France are having more proportions, or they are having much more tanks than the Germany. Again, Taylor says that Germany had only 1,450 fighter planes and 800 bombers. 800 bombers, 1,450 fighter planes, where Britain had 950 fighter planes and around 1,300 bombers. Okay, so this is because of this reason. H.P. Taylor says that Hitler never intended for World War II. He wanted only a limited war with Poland. Also, he says that yes, Germany's expenditure on these armaments, Germany's expenditure on the armaments by 1939, Germany's expenditure on armaments by 1939, it was just 15%, just 15% of this gross national product of Germany. It was just 15% of this GNP of Germany. Almost in the same proportion, Britain also spent on armaments. On almost to the same proportion, Britain and France also spend on the armaments. Okay, and again you can see that Germany was forced to, or Germany reduced its expenditure on armaments after this Munich conference. After the Munich conference, it lowered its expenditure on these armaments. Again, its foreign policy by 1939, it was just attack on Poland. It was just, invasion of Poland. It was not a worldwide invasion. It was not a worldwide aggression. Its foreign policy by 1939 only intended to attack Poland, because Hitler felt already there is a non-aggression pact with the USSR. Already there is a non-aggression pact with the USSR. So that is why USSR or Soviet Union will not block Hitler's aggression with this Poland. Already Germany signed a non-aggression pact with this USSR. So there will be no protest from USSR or Soviet Union. Also, these allied powers like Britain and France not sharing any borders with Poland. So there is no need for Britain and France to intervene into this affair, Hitler thought. Again, there is no that much strong protest from Britain and France when this Hitler attacked Austria and Czechoslovakia. When he attacked Austria and Czechoslovakia, there was no such protest from this strong protest from Britain and France. So he felt that they will not be interested in this Germany's attacks on Poland. And also he misunderstood that this Britain and France, they were unprepared for a war by 1939 because of their economic tensions and all, okay, or internal tensions and all. But you see, this Britain and France, they participated in this war. When Germany declared war on Poland, Britain declared war on Germany, and it is not on moral grounds, even though Britain says it is for protection of democracy. Okay, according to Taylor, it is not on moral grounds. It is simply Yes, German expansionist policy affected the balance of power of Europe, or Germany's European expansion affected the balance of power in Europe. That is why Britain and France, yes, declared war against Germany when Germany declared war on Poland. Okay, so whatever, even though he focused only on war with Poland, his actions and reactions eventually resulted in World War II. Adolf Hitler's actions and reactions, deliberately or intentionally, non-intentionally, it eventually caused this or resulted in this World War II. Okay, so these are two topics we discussed in our value addition session today. Just revise very well, answer very well. I tell you, if you practice it on regular basis, you will be, after maybe 60 answers, 70 answers or 100 answers, you will be in a position to write very decent, above average scoring answers in the final UPSC examination. So that answering matters a lot and feedback matters a lot. Just practice on regular basis. Just follow our regular series, subscribe our channel, share with your friends. Your valuable feedbacks you can leave in the comment box. All the best. Happy learning.